to business.
When he drinks, he thinks.
That's the nectar of the gods, baby.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the #1 liquid-fueled, liquid lubricated show on the interwebs. This is the Whiskey Musings Broadcast, and tonight I have probably, I would have to say, the biggest guest that I have ever had on this program. As of yet, I'm laughing because I can see him chuckling in the background. He's sitting over there listening to this because he's in the green room. And he thinks this is kind of hilarious. But I'm going to tell you, this is probably the biggest guy that I've ever had here on the program. He's bigger than I am, which that's saying a lot. Okay. But before I get to him, I have to announce a couple of things, and I have to say hello to all my subscribers and listeners, of course. Everyone who is here tonight, I really appreciate you joining. I know that you're not here for me, that you're actually here for Jay. So I'm going to get him on as quick as I possibly can here, just because of the fact that everybody wants to hear from him and not me. That's totally understandable. The guy is amazing. He is known occasionally, has been called the beefcake of the Marv K show, but sorry, he's just laughing in the background. But before I go any further, two things. Number one, first of all, and I got to make sure I haven't seen up. Yep, there she is. Okay, B Patrick 1369, aka Bonnie and Fat Paws. Look at what I'm drinking tonight. Ah, the Single Barrel Four Roses bourbon. So you can lay off me about not having bourbon. Okay. I'm having bourbon tonight. All right. So this is my first time. I'm putting it over ice because that is one of the preferred and accepted ways of having it. I have not tasted it yet. I've been smelling it all this time. So I am really interested in taking this taste. So hang on. Got to do it live on air. You know what? That's actually pretty good. It's got... I can't quite describe the taste, but hey, you know what? That actually, that might go into my repertoire of good ones for me. All right. I also have been hounded to get a P.O. box. So guess what? I got it. I got it today. Now, the address is in the description for the video. But if you want, I'll go ahead and just say it on air. If you want to send me something physically, okay? Physically send me, not just email, but physically send me. You can send it to Whiskey Musings, P.O. Box 1695, Stanwood, Washington 98292. Once again, that's Whiskey Musings, P.O. Box 1695, Stanwood, Washington, and that's STANWOOD, Stanwood, Washington, 98292. And you can send me something there. Make sure that you put in the name Whiskey Musings, because I've been told under authority that if you do not say that specifically, they will actually send it back, which I thought was kind of odd. I mean, I figured as long as it had the P.O. box, who cares what it was, you know, who it was addressed to. But yeah, they told me that today. They were like, make sure that they only use this. So only put on Whiskey Musings, not the Whiskey Musings Broadcast, not, you know, my name and whiskey, none of that. Just Whiskey Musings and of course the address that I put in. All right. Okay. So, it looks like everybody is drinking. They're in the chat. I see a bunch of people. So let me go ahead and without any further ado, let me get to the man, the myth, the legend, the #1 engineer / producer who makes Mark K sound okay. Sorry, that was a very bad pun. Anyway, let me get to him. I'd like to welcome to the program, Jay Money Boze. Hello, Jay. How are you?
What is going on? How y'all doing?
Oh, Art, you know what? I've got to be honest with you. This has probably been between you and Hannah. You guys are the two like most anticipated interviews that I have had. You, just because of your excitedness. And the reason why I say that is because, guys, let me tell you, the way that I kind of framed this to Jay was that, hey, you don't need to be online until like a quarter till. Okay. And I popped in at okay, so this is Pacific time. So I popped into the room that I used at 5:15, and Jay was already online checking everything out. He is so excited to be here with you people. This is amazing. Thank you very much. All right, before we get on to anything further, what are you drinking tonight?
I am polishing off this Glenmorangie single malt Scotch whiskey, and it's a Chardonnay cask finish, so it's not too bad.
Okay, well, just so you people know, earlier in the week, Jay and I had a tech check, and that bottle was a lot more full than what it is right now, if I remember correctly.
Hey, it was Friday last night, so
I am not blaming you at all. Not blaming you at all. Okay. All right.
Cheers.
Oh, yes. Cheers. And cheers to everybody on the chat, too. Let's go ahead and cheers. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Ooh. So, all right. Let's go ahead and just toss this out here. First of all, I've got to tell you, like I've mentioned it before, just like this, this entire thing, you know, you took over for a gentleman, he who shall not be named. He's sort of like the Voldemort of the Marquet world. We don't want to say his name anymore, okay? We just don't. He was a nice enough guy, okay, don't get me wrong, but his mustard hoodie kind of, it wore on us a little bit. And so,
yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, so when you showed up and started, okay, there was a little bit of apprehension. I mean, everybody was sort of like, okay, we've got the old going out, we've got the new coming in. And all I have to say is I can tell you from basically the bottom of my heart and probably the bottom of most of my listeners' hearts, you are fitting in quite nicely at the Marquet Show. We appreciate your coming on and, of course, being willing to come in and, you know, put up with all of us as well as Mark and Hannah on top of it. So thank you. Thank you
for that. I mean, I definitely was not planning any of that at all. I had been working for the radio station for maybe a month.
Okay.
And then they're like, oh, change of plans. You're going to be going downstairs to learn how to deal with the Marquet Show because Josh is leaving. And I was like, oh, fantastic. Let's do it.
All right, great. Hey, I just got to clear this up because I see things going into the chat here. First of all, just to be clear, I did not give him the nickname J Money. That actually came from, I believe, Jay Monty on the Rumble chat because he used to be called J Money. So I think he started it. I'm not 100% sure, but that's okay. I've just been spewing it ever since. And so that's the nickname. That's all it is. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So there we go. All right. So you've already talked about the fact that you've only been at the station for about a month. So let me kind of back up a little bit, backtrack. So you originally come from Marietta, Georgia. What made you move to the Jacksonville area?
So my uncle lives down here. And after my dad passed in 2020 from COVID, my uncle asked my wife and my son and I to come down and visit. And we did. We were kind of in the middle of moving around because I had just lost my job up in Nashville. Didn't really want to stay in Marietta again since I've lived there 8-9 times.
Right.
So we came down here, stayed with my uncle for about a week, checked out the area, kind of fell in love with it and decided, hey, let's just jump down there and try it out. So
now, how far is it from Jacksonville to Marietta? Because I know Jacksonville's kind of right across the line.
It's about a 5.5 hour drive.
Oh, okay. So it's
For most people.
Okay.
I'll do it in about 4.
So you're a Leadfoot.
I want to get there. I want to get there.
I see. Okay. All right. So let me ask you this. You mentioned you were in Nashville. So what exactly were you doing prior to coming to the Marquet Show?
So I used to work for a company called Online Trading Academy. Okay. They're based out of Irvine, California. They've got campuses all over the world. I worked for the campus in the Atlanta area. Okay. And surprisingly, it was the #1 campus in the world. We always won awards every year. We went to a conference, mainly for sales. But I started doing the Bulls and Bears show for them probably about 4 or 5 months after I was hired. And then we put that on WSB in Atlanta, up in North Carolina, down in Tampa, Orlando, Chicago, a couple other places. And pretty much we were just talking about stocks, volatility, how you can short sell, things like that. And then people would come in, become students, and then learn, how we teach people to do it. Right. So I did that for about 4 years in Atlanta. And then moved up to Nashville because there was a new campus opening. And my buddy was, I knew him from Atlanta. He was opening it, so he wanted me to come up there, help him start growing it in Nashville, and also to do another radio show, which we did for 6 months. And then COVID kind of kicked in, and that was the end of that. Okay. Okay. So you got your start in radio outside of radio. Yeah. Outside of radio. Okay. Outside of radio. All right. All right. So that's cool. So I asked this question of Hannah, and I'm going to ask it of you as well, but mainly it's just because when you first came on, you didn't really speak into the mic very often. And I understand why. I don't even want to go down that path necessarily. You were learning things and that kind of stuff. It's sometimes kind of tough to pop up a mic and, understand how well it works, things like that. But what I do want to ask is, now that we've heard you, you have what a friend of mine who's, I'm part of the internet radio scene. And so a friend of mine basically says you have what he calls a really good quality radio voice. And since you have that radio voice, and now that you've been working behind the scenes on the Marquet Show, does it ever give you an inkling to break out and get your own show maybe in the future? Maybe in the future. First I'd have to think of what the format would be and all that. Right. But maybe down the future somewhere. Okay. I'm definitely not planning on that right now because I'm having way too much fun with Mark and Hannah. I did not even plan. I used to listen to Mark when I would pick up my son from school. Right. And I would just sit there and laugh and laugh and laugh. And I was like, this guy's awesome. I wish they played him up in Atlanta. And then I went to a job fair, got the job as a board op part-time, and then started doing the morning show. And then the thing happened with going on to Marquet. And I just tell everybody, I did not plan on working for a show that I loved before. So, yeah, I'm not planning on going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, yeah, well, that actually sounds really great to all of us. I know it does to me because we don't want to have to break in somebody else. Okay. You're broken in. We haven't quite gotten you 100% yet, but we're getting there. Okay. We're getting there. It's a process. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So talking about the show, so obviously the show itself, it's on the radio and you stream. I listen to it on Rumble all the time. That is my only place to go. In fact, I really push Rumble here, even on this show. But one thing that we noticed that you have is you have this, shall we say, plethora of interesting shirts. Yeah. So can
Yeah, and sometimes it's kind of like, okay, well, what's Jay gonna wear today? You know, that kind of thing. And for a while there, I'll be honest, I was actually gonna start calling you Blue Jay because all you did was wear blue, and then of course you pulled out that pink leopard print one day, and I was like, oh, well, that kind of throws that off. And then you popped up, and then you popped up the pink one with the I think it's the palm trees that are on it.
Yeah.
And that one came out, and I'm just like, oh, well, that shoots that all to hell. So let me ask you this. I mean, what started the whole idea of wearing those interesting and unique shirts?
Well, I mean, normally a lot of my T-shirts have always just been Bulls and Bears, since it was something I did for 4 years, and they were so breathable, and I just had, I don't know, way too many. I still have like 15, 16 of them. But my wife kept saying, you got to stop wearing the Bulls and Bears stuff. That was years ago. Get over it. You need to start wearing something else if you're going to be on camera. And I was like, well, then how about I just find something just unique and throw it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, okay, how many shirts do you have? I was like, I don't know, 2. So then we just started buying shirts, and it just became a thing. So
I think you should continue that thing.
I'm going to.
All right. Well, you know, so a couple of things here. I've been watching the chat a little bit here and there, and I just want to say this. Apparently I am incorrect. Okay. I've been called to the carpet. So right here, Amy Jean Viner says wrong. Jay's done broke in. Okay. All right. I'm wrong.
Not yet. Not yet. There's still a lot of things that you have not seen that I.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Wow. You know, we could almost go down that rabbit hole, but I'm a little afraid to see where that
it's
actually
your show.
goes. Yes. Well, I do know that there have been times where Mark has given you the look, and you know what look I'm talking about. Giving you the look. You want to kind of explain a little bit about how that comes about?
Well, I don't know, because sometimes it's just kind of like I say something stupid or something just kind of off topic, or I screw things up, like not pushing a button to where he's trying to go back on air on the radio, and I'm just sitting there staring at him like, go on, come on. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh crap. And I forgot to push the program button to throw him on air. So that's the look that he's given me, is he's like, hey, come on, wake up.
So. I know this you may not have, but how many days has it been since you had a mistake?
3. It was the other day. I thought I had pressed every single button, because there's so many freaking buttons to push.
Right.
And so I had missed the one important button for his microphone to go on air live.
Yep.
And he knew it. And that's why he kept trying to do it a couple times. I was like, what the hell's the problem? Crap. And then I had to push the button. And then sometimes I'll forget to hit the button to switch over to his earphones.
Right.
And he'll kind of like, so.
Okay. But I do have to ask, you know for certain, though, 100% where that dump button is, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I have to know.
Yeah, you have to know, because if you don't, obviously that's going to be a problem for all of the affiliates that are carrying the Mark K Show.
And the worst part is sometimes somebody will sit there and talk to me on the phone, and I have to like listen to them talking, and then I have to listen to what's going on air. And sometimes like I get nervous, I'm going to miss something, so I have to like try and keep an eye on Mark. So if he starts waving at me, I got to hit the dump button. So it's a little hard to kind of multitask that.
Right. So I kind of have a question, because I mean, we've seen photos of the studio, and it looks to me like Mark's camera and his screens are probably not that much unlike how I have my setup, in which case it would be hard to see through them to you. Is there like an open space that he can actually see, eyeball to eyeball?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's 3 glass windows. You can see it behind Hannah's shot.
Right.
All her pictures are on a piece of glass that looks into the studio that I'm in.
Right.
And so Mark is standing in front of her, and he's looking into the studio at me.
Yeah, but how many screens does he have? Just one, 2 or 3? I mean, I would imagine he's probably got 2 or 3 of them.
He's got like 3 or 4.
Okay.
He's got one to deal with the cameras, one to have all the chats open, one for the call screener. So whenever I get a call, he can see who it is, where they're calling,
right,
what they want to talk about, and then he can answer the phone from that computer. And then he's also looking at his laptop for news and then, the hotkeys and audio bites and things like that.
Now, he also has a tablet that I've seen as well that he's popped up as well. So I
think he's pretty much looking at news stories on that too.
Yeah, there's an awful lot to follow things around and that kind of stuff. All right. So so let me ask you this.
Amy, Amy, yes, Amy, the phones do have caller ID, but I mean, they still got to go through me just in case you get Karen. If Karen calls and he picks up the phone, there's going to be a lot of pushing that dump button.
Yeah. So I need to ask this question of you really quick because of the fact that we talk about Karen all the time. So Hannah made the comment at one point that she actually gets direct calls from Karen. And so
I feel bad for her.
So you don't have the same presence that they do, obviously, but you have to deal with them on the studio line. Is that right?
Yep, exactly. That's why a lot of times she calls, I just try and be obnoxious just to annoy her. Because I mean, that's all she's doing is annoying me. So whatever.
Yeah. All right.
It is what it is.
It is. I mean, being in the kind of startup stage like I am, I don't have the same attraction. However, I have had a few people that have hopped onto like my Twitter account or my YouTube during the streams, and they try to derail me and that kind of stuff. So I can at least sympathize with what's going on.
And plus, she doesn't know my real name.
Okay.
Or my last name, surprisingly, but.
Oh boy. Well, I put it in the title of tonight.
Keep it that way.
So,
she's not on Rumble.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Well, it's not just there. I mean, it's on YouTube and that kind of stuff. But maybe she'll maybe she'll avoid this one. Yeah. Okay. So maybe she'll avoid this one
because it's not on air too. So.
Oh, right.
Like in Jacksonville.
Oh,
so.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay. So let's get down to some brass tacks. Okay, some serious brass tacks. So you're sitting there and you wear a lot of short sleeve shirts. On your right arm is a tattoo, and we can see that. So let me ask you this. Yeah. So but we don't see like the whole sleeve necessarily. So if you don't mind, because some people have been asking, they want to know, what are they? And if you don't mind saying, how many do you have and where are they?
I have a total of 8.
Okay.
A lot of them are mistakes, which, thinking about it now, like 22 years after I got them, I'm like, why did I do that?
Right.
I could have saved that money. But now this one, it says death this way.
Okay.
And then if you flip it this way, it says life.
Oh, so it's like one of those mirror type things. Okay.
I'm trying to find the camera.
Yeah, you're stretching and turning your arm, and okay. You just can't twist it in the right way, but that's okay.
No. And then it's got just this whole thing. I kind of took a design to my tattoo artist, and he just came up with all this, and it's obviously it's not finished. Probably won't be finished because I don't know where he is anymore.
Okay.
And then on this one, it's a band logo for Hot Water Music.
Okay.
And then this is Shinobi from Sega.
Okay.
And then I've got 3 other video game characters on my back. And Chinese symbols that supposedly mean easygoing.
Easygoing. Well, you certainly fit that bill. I mean, for the most part, anyway. Except for maybe Karen. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, do any of them have any kind of like special significance? Realistically, I mean, because like for an example, because I have one, I do have a tattoo. But when I was going to get it, I was advised to try and make it special so that way, you didn't down the road like regret that it was there. So do any of them have any kind of special significance?
Well, the reason I have the video games is because I went to school for video game design back in 2000. Okay. And so I wanted to pursue that when I went. That didn't happen. So, that's the significance of those. Okay. The Chinese, it was just my first tattoo. That was my 18-year-old birthday present from Mom. Right. Band logo, that's just, a band that I've listened to since 1995. And they still go on tour and still release things, which is awesome. The one I really regret is the life and death. Okay. Just because now I've met so many people that have it. My son's babysitter's husband has it, and I'm like, there's another one.
Hold up. Son's babysitter's husband.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
He has it on. I think he said his chest, and I was just like, there's another one. There's another one.
Yeah, so you wanted to get obviously you want them unique. I think everybody wants them unique. Okay. So you said you have 8. Are you looking to like add another maybe?
We've talked about it. Okay. My wife and I have talked about it. I just don't know where. I have plenty of room on my legs, but I don't know if I want to do that.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
Where's yours?
Mine's on this shoulder over. You're going to make me show it, aren't you? Oh, damn. I am. All right. Fine. I will. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So it's a tiger, a red tiger with a cross in the background, and it's supposed to be a yellow flower, but this thing's like 25 years old. And
I gotcha.
This right here is a ninja. It's called a ninja toe, but it's the ninja sword.
The katana.
Yeah. Well, no, not the katana. So the katana has a curved blade. It's the ninja. The ninja swords were a straight blade. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway,
who's looking at you?
Sorry, that's my wife. She stepped into the studio here, and she's kind of chuckling. Yeah. Oh, okay. So folks, she can't hear because I have monitors, so she only hears the one side of the conversation.
No, I can hear Jay too when you were asking him where's it.
Oh, you can. Oh, okay. All right.
She just wanted to make sure you weren't taking your clothes off.
Hey, for those of you who are on Facebook, apparently my wife is watching on Facebook. Now, this is an honor, Jay. She does not normally watch the show as it's going on because she has a problem, and this is serious, because she has a problem hearing me directly and then listening to the show afterward, because there's, obviously it's going out through the internet and everything else, and so it's sort of like having a really bad echo. So anyway, now that I've mentioned that you're there, they want you to come over. Are you willing? Oh, wait. She's prepping herself. Hold on. Okay. There she is.
Hi.
Hey.
We have strays coming.
All right. Oh, I guess my son has some friends coming over. Anyway, if you really want a good look at her, you can check out my Valentine's Day special. I had her and a couple friends that are married on it, so you can check out my Valentine's Day special for that. But that's not what this is about. This is about Jay. So we gotta focus on Jay. All right. So let's turn attention to sports for a minute, because obviously, so first of all, Bull and Bear, what was that about? What was the subject?
That was about stock markets.
Oh, stock markets. So you're an investment person.
I helped people learn how to trade. Yeah.
Oh.
I do know how to day trade. We always told people we don't want to teach you. We're not going to teach you how to day trade, but really we were teaching them how to day trade. So.
Okay. So when Mark asks you on Monday about the salacious, juicy info, just have him fast forward until probably about 30 minutes in and get to that. Okay.
All right. So, no, he knows.
Oh, he knows.
When I first met him, I told him he wanted to know a little bit about my background.
Right.
And I told him I came from Online Trading Academy, and he's like, I've heard of that because he told me that his dad was an instructor for him.
Right.
Like 20 years ago, and I was like, oh. Okay. So you know exactly what it is.
Yeah, well, Mark's gotten around to pushing gold now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, thanks for that, by the way. There's those of us. Okay, so I got to throw this out there. I understand only from the standpoint of I'm a little bit envious, just slightly, of his status where he is at in his setup. So I understand why he's doing it. But there are some on the stream who are trying to figure out. He does all the breaks for the broadcast breaks, and then he goes and he does these Gold and Rise TV ads for his sponsors. And so yeah. It's, I mean, I understand why. I get it, and you can even explain it even better probably. But I understand why he's doing it. But some people are not a big fan on that, I guess. So anyway.
It is what it is. I mean, it's not like he went out to look for it.
Right. So came in.
I'm sure they came to him and wanted him to do it.
Right.
But I don't see any kickback from that or anything like that. I just know it has to be done, and I don't want him to get in trouble. So that's why I always kind of.
So will he actually get in trouble if he doesn't say those?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just know that. I know that when we're doing traffic, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago, I had to fill in for the guy that does traffic because he was off for the week. And I had all these scripts that I had to read.
Right.
Contractually, I didn't get any money for it, but the radio station gets the money for it. So
yes, they do.
I mean, it's just something that has to happen.
Right,
so.
Right. Well, and you're on, so a lot of people try and figure out the breaks. Now, I've dealing with radio tangentially. I have an understanding that you have hard breaks and soft breaks. Soft breaks, you can kind of move. Hard breaks, you have no other choice. Hard breaks are usually at the top of the hour and maybe at the bottom of the hour, depending upon the program. And then anything in between is sort of a soft break. And so I know that's kind of the pattern. And then of course, obviously he's got the whole streaming thing, because otherwise if you were breaking, like Hannah pointed out, when I talked to her, she was like, hey, well, when we weren't streaming, it was like a normal break. So when we'd be on 5 minutes, we wouldn't have to do anything. We could sit around and do whatever. So, I don't think Mark appreciated that too much, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, all right. So, okay. We all know that you are and I'm going to mess this up. I know I'm going to mess this up. A South Carolina Panthers fan.
They're in North Carolina, but it's pretty much both. It's pretty much both.
I told you I was going to mess that up.
It's Carolina Panthers. So
Carolina Panthers. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Carolina Panthers. So obviously you are an NFL fan from that. Are there any other sports that you watch? Because, you know, college, just college football or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
All the way.
Of course.
Go Dogs all the way.
Yeah. All right. Georgia. Yeah.
Yep.
Georgia Bulldogs. Okay, that makes sense.
Dad graduated from Georgia, so I pretty much grew up watching that.
Oh, okay.
Larry Munson, oh yeah, I know it all.
Okay. So let me ask you this, because this is something, I mean, I grew up, my dad really liked college football over NFL, mainly just because of the fact, and this is his words, so don't shoot the messenger here, but in his words, college level, they're still playing for the love of the game. And once they get into the pros, they tend to play for the money and not the love of the game anymore.
That's exactly what my dad said too.
Okay. So. Okay. So outside of I mean, obviously, do you have, well, you don't have tickets or anything, but so you watch them, I'm assuming, when they come around and stuff?
So last night, I wanted to watch the Panthers and the Patriots game, so I went ahead and I think they had like a deal going on for the NFL app.
Okay.
I think it was like $40 for the year.
Okay.
And I was like, well, hell, how am I not going to jump all over that deal?
Right.
Because it used to be like $150 for the year.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I jumped on that last night, and now I can watch NFL on my cell phone because I don't have cable.
Okay, so do you do any like fantasy sports leagues?
I used to, yeah. I've mentioned it to Mark too. Told him we should do it for Kay's kids to, have a pot, raise some money for it, whatnot.
Mm.
He pondered it for a minute.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound too promising.
Well, I mean, it was a little late to bring it up now.
Okay.
But he might think about it for next year. Okay,
so let's kind of take a drop into the rabbit hole sort of thing. Let's talk about Kay's Kids right now. Do me a favor. I mean, I know what it's about, but go ahead and just kind of explain what Kay's Kids is, and especially talk about like the different ways that people can raise money. How about that?
I will do my best.
Okay.
Since this was my first Kay's Kids. But so basically it was Mark and his wife work with see, I'm already screwing it up. What dream? No, it's not What Dreams May Come. You know what I'm talking about. They work with another charity company to raise money to help kids that have terminal illnesses. And Mark and his wife work with them and get kids things that they want, just to kind of show that, everybody cares and they're trying to help them out, trying to make them, have a better life, trying to, give back to people. So,
right.
I mean, that's about all. And I know he's doing the ho, 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 hold 'em. Are you coming down for that?
Let's put it this way. I am trying to figure that out if I'm going to go or not. So just real quick. I saw
you mention it the other day. So.
Yeah, I did mention it, and I may have stuck my foot in it, but I'm thinking about it. I am seriously looking at like flights and things like that. But just to kind of clear things up to make sure, I'm going to move you sort of out of the way here. Let me just make sure that I get the right. I think this is it. If I show you something different, yep, I did. That was wrong. Let's try this one. Nope, not that one either. Oh my gosh, going through every single one here. Let's see. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
All right, so
that's it. Dreams come true.
So just so everybody understands, Kay's Kids are with Dreams Come True. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing about the Dreams Come True part. If you look in the chat, there is one particular person who is trying desperately to get my attention, to encourage you to do some sort of a physical, shall we say, movement. Okay. And I'm not going to go there. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. You know,
I'm looking.
If he wants to do it on his own, that is entirely up to him. Okay. I am not going to encourage him to do that. I'm sorry. Anyway, all right. So Kay's Kids basically is through Dreams Come True. It's a partnership, and they basically go through and they do, you know, they go through and they buy gifts for these kids. They find out what these kids want. These are kids that have gone through some of the horrific surgeries that you could ever imagine. And every single one so far, I've been watching for a couple of years, and every single one that I have seen, they are just the most delightful children. And you can go ahead and donate. See this donate now. You can see the button on the screen there. There is a donation button. You can donate all year long. And they take that money and they turn it into basically 2 or 3 events that they do. They have the Ho Ho Hold'em tournament that is where they bring in a bunch of celebrities and you play a Texas Hold'em tournament for, I guess it's one night. And they take the proceeds and they put it all towards the K's Kids and Dreams Come True. Then they take that, and that's their big seller. And then what they do is they do a 12 Days of Christmas in July and then again in December. And they bring in 12 individuals or 10 individuals. I can't remember exactly the amount, but they bring in each kid into the radio station on the program, and they talk to them and they put them. And if you're on the stream, I mean, the tiers are just amazing. Okay. But realistically, I mean, this is an awesome charity. It's located in Jacksonville. It focuses on Jacksonville kids, but it's a really wonderful thing, a charity organization. And what Jay was talking about is the other day, I was on the Rumble chat and I sort of made a comment about coming down because I would love to see the Marquee crew. I would actually, and maybe Jay, maybe you're the one I can ask, either you or Hannah, one or the other. But if I actually make it, here's what I would like. Not so much.
I have an extra bedroom.
Okay. So, well, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I would love to meet you and your family. I mean, if I've seen your son popped in the video when we, when we were saying,
I was like, what are you doing? Get out of there.
Well,
he was so excited. He's like, Daddy, I'm just like you.
Well, what was funny is I actually waved to him when he first showed up, and I think he got this like deer in the headlights look, like, oh my gosh.
Oh, he's so funny.
Anyway, I played with him a little bit while I was getting set up.
Well, thank you. He loved it.
But
I heard him laughing, and I was like, what are you doing?
Well, because I was sitting there going, you know, anyway. So the thing is that I would if I go down there, if I actually go down there, I would actually love to make it a trip and make it one of those things where not only do I see some of the fans that I have that are down in the area, because I know that there are several people who are over on Rumble who watch this program, watch the Marquee show. I would love to meet all of them. At the same time, though, I would like to have a in-studio tour.
Oh yeah.
If I get down there, and then, you know, obviously,
yeah, absolutely.
I would love to meet Mark and Hannah, and you know, at least be in the studio when you guys are doing it. It would be a great behind the scenes look, and I would love that. That would be awesome. So I will keep in touch with you. I will keep in touch with you to make sure. But I'm going to try. My wife's already been like, go. She's like, just go, and so yeah. I just need to figure out all the details. But if I do that, then yeah, I would definitely. I want to come down. I want to meet you guys. I want to meet all of you more than just virtually, and especially even like the folks that are there now. There wasn't a question. Let me see if I can find it here. So there was one.
Well, the one about me standing up and turning around slowly.
Oh no! See, I wasn't going to say anything, but now that you did, oh my gosh. What the heck?
Well, I mean,
See, I was trying to save you,
I'm
Jay,
out.
and here you go.
I'm
And I don't think your wife is going to be too happy with me on that. Thank you. Thank you very much on that one. Oh, my gosh.
she doesn't know.
Yeah, wait until she watches the broadcast later. and
Whatever.
Picks you up. Okay. Well, all right. So here's the question. Oops, I just found it, and then it jumps away. But here's the question. So the question was, I think you can get a ticket and spectate. Okay. So my understanding, and I don't know if the rules have changed, but in 2019, which was the last time, you can look up online, you can find the 2019 Ho Ho Hold'em tournament. And my understanding is there are 3 levels of tickets. One is to buy out an entire table, which is seating 8, I think. Then the second one is to buy out or buy a single ticket buy-in. And the third one is, yes, just to spectate. In other words, come and watch all of us idiots play poker and act like we know what the hell we're doing. Okay. So yeah, but if I do that, I'm going to have to freaking play it online or play it on my tablet or something so I can at least look like I know what I'm doing.
Unlike trivia, I will clean Mark's wallet out.
Really? Oh. You know he's going to watch this. In fact, he might even be watching right now.
He was like, I might not catch it live, but I'll definitely watch the replay. So
Yeah. So, okay, Mark, that's the challenge.
Yeah.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
And I am still waiting on the trophy.
The trophy? Wait, you guys have a new trophy now?
From what we understand, we have a new trophy coming. So
I see. Okay. That's actually awesome. Okay. So
but he is really good at trivia. I will say that.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes I just sit there like
Hannah can't get like halfway through the question and he already has the answer.
Yeah, I know. That's why a lot of times I'm like, oh my God, I'm just going to shut up.
Well, you know what you need to do? And Hannah needs to be in on this because she'll know if you're there, but you need to go to the pub the Wednesday before because it's the same questions.
I can't. I know it is. I can't do it. I can't do that.
Okay.
That's just
right.
not.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's yeah. Okay. I get it.
Because then I'll just come in and just like, I won't even hide the fact. I'll just nail everything. As soon as she's like, what was it? Like, Hoover Dam, like me, blah, blah, blah. And then Mark's going to be like, what in the world is going on?
Well, you almost had him. I will have to admit, you almost had him.
Yeah.
At one point, you did have him.
Last week, I got frozen on the Pinocchio question. That would have at least tied it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it would have. All right. I get it, Amy. Yes, we know. I'm just teasing. Oh, my gosh. Yes, that is cheating. I understand.
Well, she was also saying, do it. So. Well,
no, okay. Well, I think that was in reference to me coming down and playing in the Ho Ho Hold'em.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But anyway, so yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Come on, guys. I know Jay is much more up and above board than that. Give me a break. I mean, as much as I would love to see Mark kind of get his due every once in a while, because
it'll come.
The way it is. It'll come. It'll come eventually.
Yeah. There's going to be like a few days that we do trivia, and it's just going to be amazing. I'm like, wow. Hey, how many do you have? I've got this many.
Yeah.
And then he's going to be like, I got 2.
Well, I mean, he certainly does have the tendencies of being a little full of himself, just a little.
Whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on, he's got a nationwide broadcast. Shoot.
No kidding. I keep bugging people up in Atlanta. I'm like, hey, get rid of the noon to 3-er and put Mark on, and they're just like, well. We need a lot of people to tell us that that's what they want. And I'm like, well, I will go ahead and start doing that. So hopefully we can get on in Atlanta and push some other who will not be named off air.
Okay, so I'm getting corrected. I was wrong. Okay, this is twice. All right, I don't like saying this, people. I don't like saying I'm wrong. So here's what I'm wrong about. Apparently, Amy was talking about your stand up and turn around thing. Oh my gosh, guys. Seriously? All right.
Well, I'm not going to do a slow turnaround, but I will go get a little bit of vodka. So if you want to hold the fort down.
Okay. All right.
And besides, you can see me at the studio. I mean, I've got much more room to like move around.
Oh, okay. All right. Go get your vodka. Hurry up.
All right,
Hurry it up. All right. Well, while he's gone, I might as well just go ahead and pop this up just because I am. So let me go ahead and let me bring this up there. All right. So while he's gone, let me go ahead and talk a little bit about True Grit Roots Network. Okay, this is not the type of music that Jay likes. I'm going to get into that here in just a minute, but I can tell you this much. True Grit Roots Network is and let me go ahead. Oh, I got to pop this up. So True Grit Roots Network, I am a partner in, full disclosure. It is a internet digital radio station. Okay. And we do things like true roots music. It's country, it's outlaw rock, blues, and all of these other things. And so it is, if you haven't had a chance to check it out, please do so. It is True Grit Roots Network. My partner is coming back to the radio after a very long hiatus with the Mighty Mouth Blues and Dirty Boots radio shows. Mighty Mouth Blues, he used to do here up in Seattle, Washington. It was a internet radio sensation, and he's been in the studio for, he's been in the blues scene for close to 30 years. This guy, his name is Jonathan Oogie Richards. He is a phenomenal blues DJ. He's been an award-winning DJ, and he really brings a level that is beyond what I can actually even discuss here. I don't even know all of the depths of that man's knowledge. But do me a favor, check it out, True Grit Roots Network, tgrn.net. And if you're interested in Americana, blues, Southern rock, and in country, outlaw country, in terms of, that's kind of my favorite genre. So that is, Creed Fisher, Brantley Gilbert, Colt Ford, and several others. So do me a favor and go check it out. At least listen for a little bit. See if you like it. If you don't, I completely understand. Everybody's got their own kinds of style of music, but check us out. It's TGRN, TrueGritRootsNetwork.net. You can also listen on your smart speaker as well. If you want to do like for Alexa, you could just say, Alexa, listen to True Grit Roots Network from Live 365. The word from is very important. If you say on, she won't do it. So you have to say True Grit Roots Network from Live 365. Or just check us out on the Live 365 radio app and take a look at that. That I would really appreciate it if you would. Okay, so I see Jay has come back now, so let me get back to his interview. That was an awesome little drop off. I can go and throw a little stuff in there. All right.
See?
So
was that something contractual that you had to do, or
no, it's not contractual.
Okay.
See, I'm the chief technology officer, so it's not really a contract, but I want to promote that, obviously, because we're trying to make a go of it. We're in our soft launch right now, so it's not like fully ready. Well, I won't say fully ready, but we're adding shows. We're kind of getting our sound down. We're working out the technological kinks and that kind of stuff. But which speaking about that, I got to get with Oogie and his daughter, because they are launching the Dirty Boots radio show. And so I got to get with them to try and help them figure out how to do it, because she's up here in Washington and he's down in Austin, Texas. So anyway. I would, I'll be honest with you. I really wish I lived closer to you guys, because I would be a great resource for all of the crap that you guys have. But anyway, moving on.
And sadly enough, there was no vodka.
Oh, no vodka.
And now I feel like I've lost my man card.
Oh, so what are you drinking now? Just a Truly? Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that kills me.
I've got no hard liquor in the house. I should have laid off of it last night, but oh well.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes you just gotta do it. I mean, especially on a Friday night. You know, Friday night's
unwind.
Fun Friday, you know? Seriously.
I definitely shouldn't have done it because I should have mowed the lawn today, but I guess I'll do that tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. Hopefully your wife isn't listening and can hear this.
No, she's the one that was like, you know what? It's super hot outside. I would not even worry about doing it today.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, well, then it's got to be done tomorrow because the HOA is going to hit us.
Oh,
So-
it's that long. Holy crap.
No, but it's Florida.
Oh.
It grows quick.
Okay.
But
So-
it's been like 2.5 weeks since I mowed it.
All right.
And it's already like,
Oh, so
like,
see,
ridiculous.
now I know, and this is very mundane, but I'm going to go ahead and ask anyway. What the hell? So how early can you actually mow?
well, I'm going to get out there at 8:30 and if people get pissed off, they'll be like, whatever, it's church day anyways. Go learn the word. I got to mow the lawn.
Oh my gosh. All right. So it looks like, wow. Yeah. See, now one of the things that's nice about where I live is I can actually, I mean, technically I have a law that I'm not really supposed to start until after 9 a.m. But I'll try and push that. I mean, I live fairly rural. So,
I mean, it's more of a respect kind of thing for your neighbors.
yeah.
But I got to get it done.
Yep.
And I don't want it to be like 10 o'clock and all of a sudden it's 98 degrees, heat index of 115. I'm like, oh, I should have done this yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
So-
Heat index of 115. Man, I remember those days.
Sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's, I mean, well, you guys being in Florida, you guys have a lot of water, so you get a lot of humidity going on down there.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, when I lived in Reno, I mean, it was like nothing like it is out here. I mean,
Right.
it'd be like 95 in the desert and there's no humidity at all.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like a dry heat and you can actually function. Whereas here, you want to, you take a shower, you walk out the
Right.
door, you feel like you have to go take a shower again. So
Yep. Or you got moss growing in some places that you really don't want.
exactly.
All right. Well, I just noticed in the chat we do have a birthday here, so I'm just going to give a shout out to the Outlaw
look at that.
Dogs. Outlaw Dogs, happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
I mean, the other day
Pew,
we
pew,
had
pew.
Hannah's birthday, but yeah, pew pew pew. No, that's a Marquet thing. That's a Marquet thing. Here it's just here it's clink clink clink. How about that? The ice slashing in the glass or whatever. Anyway.
yeah.
All right. Well, happy birthday, Outlaw! Happy birthday, Outlaw Dogs. I had them on the broadcast on Wednesday for the Pet of the Week, the Outlaw Dogs, and they have special tinfoil hats for Thursdays. They love. Apparently, I've been told this by. I'm trying to remember how it's put. Butch, their son, I think. But anyway, it's 3 dogs. You can go back and take a look.
Okay.
But
I
anyway,
got
but it's 3 dogs. You've got Bonnie, Clyde, and then Butch or Billy, their kid. Sorry, Billy, their
I got
kid.
it.
Not Butch, but Billy, their kid.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's
so,
awesome.
And all 3 of them have the tinfoil hats, and they pay attention when Conspiracy Theory Thursday comes on. Speaking about that, I do have a question for you. You have, yes, yeah. I see. Thank you. I'm sorry. I screwed up. I am horrible with names, okay? I'm just going to tell you that right now. I'm horrible with names. In fact, Jay's happy that I'm not calling him Jack, okay? I mean, seriously.
Hey, yeah.
But anyway.
I would probably still answer to it, so.
All right. That sounds good. Like I tell everybody, I'm like, just, you can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I do have a slight little bone to pick with Mark in particular, and maybe you can pass this along on Monday. But he has his Remember Mar-a-Lago baseball cap. And I'm sorry, but I can't stand flat brims, okay? he needs to curve that thing. I mean, seriously, this is not, I mean, this is a baseball hat. You wear it backwards. You wear the snapback, okay? So you
well, I mean, even when I don't wear it backwards, it's still curved, but...
Yeah, somewhat. But, man, I mean, his is like, he calls it the dad hat, and it's obvious. He needs to curve that thing a little bit. I mean, you know, kind of bend it and get it into more shape. But
so I got, my wife got me the Carolina Blue Panther hat, the really baby blue one. And it came and it was like such a flat brim and had the stickers on it and everything. And I looked at her, I was like, should I just keep the stickers on and just keep it flat? Apparently that's the style now. That's how all the cool kids do it.
Yeah.
And she's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. I guess so they can return it later.
Return it? Why would you want to return it? I thought you were a Carolina Panthers fan.
But why do they keep the stickers on it and everything? I don't understand.
You know, I mean, now some of that stuff is supposedly collectible, and it's even more valuable if it
not after you wear it.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess that's true.
It's already sold at that point.
Speaking of which, there used to be a Dallas Cowboys helmet in the background from the other guy. Okay, the former guy, the TFG. Have you sent that back to him yet, or is it still sitting in the corner in your part of the studio?
No, he actually said that he was just going to donate it to Mark to audition off for K's Kids.
Okay, for the
so
K's
it has been moved off to the side because everybody was like, get rid of the helmet. So I just moved it off to the side. Mark, we've still got it. I mean, it's Troy Aikman signed. Mark knows that he can auction it off. So.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. All right, so really quick. I mean, I know we're kind of over our hour here, but that's okay because we've you've been very gracious. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
No,
I didn't do that in the beginning.
No problem.
I do appreciate that.
Hold on, hey babe. They said thank you for letting them keep me for over an hour. She said you got another hour.
Oh, okay. I don't know if we're quite going to go that long, but all right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you need to thank her for me, and sooner or later, I'm going to have to send you and Mark some Redbreast 12. I'm working on that, and I owe Hannah something as well. I've already got something in the works, but I want to keep hers kind of a little bit of a surprise. But I need to send you and Mark some whiskey here. But anyway, all right. So
he keeps telling me he has some in the studio, and I'm like, well, bust it out.
Wait, he said on the air.
Let's make this an interesting show.
Well, hold up. So he has whiskey in the studio.
I don't know where it is. I haven't seen it.
Okay. Well, technically, at least according to what he said at one point, that as long as you are sober, he can get as drunk as he wants, according to the FCC.
Well, no, technically, as long as somebody, either Hannah or I, are sober. Hannah knows how to run the board.
Oh, yes, she does. She does know how to run the board. Oh, my goodness. That would be, now that would be hilarious.
And he's not the only one that has alcohol in their office. I mean, I see it upstairs in like a few other offices. So
all right, so there's
nobody's drinking on the job.
There's another salacious little bit for the Monday show. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this, and this is in all seriousness. We've been talking about Mark quite a bit, which of course that's going to happen. But Hannah mentioned when I interviewed her, Hannah mentioned that Mark is not that much different off the air as he is being on, and that he actually, outside of the whole like brother, sister, sibling rivalry kind of picking on each other sort of thing that they've got going on.
Oh my God, I wish you could see it all.
Well, she mentioned that he has been like helpful in bringing her along. And I know that you haven't been there for that long, but is that kind of similar to your experience with him?
What, for her?
No,
or just
between
just
you
him
and
in general.
Between you and him, has he kind of been? I mean, do you see like? Does he like? I know he gives you the look, but outside of that,
he definitely pushes me.
Okay.
And when I say that, like, the other day when we did the bluegrass boy.
Right.
I didn't know that was coming. He looked at me and he's like, "How are your jug blowing skills?" And I was like, and I just looked at him and was like, I don't know, kind of, are you referring to the jug that's in there? And he was like, yes. I was like, well, it sounds like I probably need to start watching some YouTube or something.
Oh,
he was like, yeah, you should get on that. So I had no idea what was coming. I knew something was coming. I just didn't know when. So when all of a sudden he came up with the ukulele, I'm sitting there going, oh crap, this is going on right now. All right, let's go.
Well, that's cool.
That's when I said earlier that there's still a lot more of me to come out.
Right.
I mean, all it takes is somebody to push me. I have no shame. I will.
Oh, be careful with that.
If it's going to get a good laugh.
Wow, be careful with that. Be very, very careful with that whole idea. You have no shame, but apparently you won't stand up and like spin around. So you obviously have a little bit of something. Uh-oh, here we go, Dave. I got it for you. There you go. Oh, hopefully she didn't take off. There we go.
No shame.
No shame. All right. Well, you know what? You are a absolutely fun guy. I love talking to you. We've talked off camera, offline prepping for this. This has been just absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for the time that you've taken.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Oh, this is just incredible. I would love to do another interview, maybe a little bit further down. We can talk about that in the future. And it would be absolutely awesome. I think it would be just great if I can figure out a way to actually get to the Ho Hold'em tournament. And that is, if I recall correctly, it is happening December 1st, which is a Thursday.
Yes.
So I'm still trying to work out some of the details, but hopefully I'm going to get there. And we can meet up in person for once.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to.
And my birthday is the 4th. Oh. So now you got to come down.
Wow, I have no other choice, I guess. I got to be there for this. I have a feeling though, because aren't you like 6'1" in height?
Last time I checked, I'm 6'2".
Oh,
but like I said the other day, I think I'm shrinking.
Well, I don't think you can shrink to my level, because when Hannah mentioned that she was 5'9", I was like, hey, cool, you and I are the same height. Oh my God!
No, I'm tall. I'm tall, and that's when I lived in California, people were like, "So you're from Georgia? You're built like that, and you don't have a Southern accent?"
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm guilty. I asked that same question, so just everybody know.
No, I know
that same question because I when I was in the service, there was a Georgia person. A guy from Georgia, and he had a really thick accent. And it was funny because obviously coming from Washington, I couldn't determine the difference between a Georgia accent, an Alabama accent, and a Texas accent. I was just thinking, oh, that's all Southern. But never, ever, 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 please, if you ever come from the North and you go to the South and you hear an accent, please don't insult them. Just accept what you see because there's a huge, it's horrible.
And whenever Hannah does her, the Red State Price is Right.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she's trying to do a good Southern accent. I mean, she does a good one, but it's not the one that I would like. It's not the one you really want to hear.
Right.
Like there's a deeper, thicker Southern accent that you could definitely hear down here.
All right, so I'm going to throw myself out and on your mercy here. You can choose to smite me with a sword if you want, but I'm going to slip in because I pick up accents fairly quickly. And so let me just go ahead and toss this in here. So, y'all really like that sweet tea, and I'm really good with that sweet tea. And them, squirrel's good. I'm great with possum. Okay, possum and them grits. Oh, let me tell you, But
if you want to put some cheese in them grits, that's how you need to do it. Son,
yeah.
cheese and them grits is how you get it done.
That's right.
That's how we do it.
Grits. That's right.
That's how we do it round her.
You got round her.
Down her. That's how we do it down her.
Okay, down her. But hey, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, the only kind of tea is sweet tea. There is no other else. There is no other tea. That's right. If
I go into some restaurant and I say I want a Coke, and they say, well, we have Pepsi, is that okay? I'm always like, is Monopoly money okay? I mean, Pepsi, we're in the South. I need some Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's right. Coca-Cola is the only way to go. And oh my gosh, I'm telling you, bless her heart. Hannah tries so hard. She really does. She tries so hard with the accent.
Oh, you threw the bless your heart out there.
Well, I had to. Okay. All right. Enough of that. But anyway. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Bless
so
your
I guess I'll fit in somewhat. Somewhat.
Hey, just hang around me. You'll be fine.
Oh, you know what? That'll have to happen. That'll definitely have to happen if I come down there. All right. So we'll stay tuned for that. That is cool. Thank you very much for your time, Jay. I do appreciate it. We will see you on Monday. And hey, you can hang out for a little bit longer. I'm actually going to take some more time because I've got a couple segments that I have here. So the first one is obviously on this day in American history, where I read out from the American Patriots Almanac. And I've got to do that because that is a Saturday thing. And then I also have a question for Whiskey from the Outlaw Dogs that I need to answer. So if you just want to hang out and listen, I mean, it's up to you. If you decide to leave the room, that's fine. But otherwise, hang out in the chat, maybe talk a little bit with the chat back and forth with those folks. But I'm going to go ahead and pop back over and thank you again. I do appreciate the time. And you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. We'll see you on Monday on the Marquet Show.
Sounds good. And you do the same, sir. And I know I said it twice before, but thank you for your service.
Oh, goodness. You're making me embarrassed here.
Hey, come on.
All right. I got it. Take care, Jay. We'll talk to you later.
All right. See ya.
Okay. So, all right. So now let me go ahead and pop this up because I might as well just get this out of the way. All right. So as always, we do the On This Day in American History. And I think it's important. The reason why I think it's important is because of the fact that we need to understand where we come from. And of course, this show is fully and heavily weighted on American history, Americanism, America first. Because this is the greatest country in the entire world that has ever graced the face of the earth. So I love this. But this comes from the American Patriots Almanac. You can buy this where books are sold. It is by William J. Bennett and John T.E. Cribb. No, I do not get anything from you buying it. Believe me, I don't care about that. That's not what this is for. So tonight is August 20th. And this is on E Pluribus Unum. So E Pluribus Unum is the Latin motto on the Great Seal of the United States. It means out of many, one, and refers to the creation of this country out of many states. It also reminds us that America consists of people from just about every country and culture on earth, and that all of these people together make one great nation. Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson suggested the motto in 1776. The three sat on a committee appointed by Congress to design a seal for the new nation, and they turned to artist, and I'm going to mince this up, I'm going to tell you that right now, but Pierre Eugène de Sumitière for help in coming up with ideas. The design they submitted to Congress on August 20th, 1776 included the words E Pluribus Unum. The committee probably borrowed the phrase from Gentleman's Magazine, a popular journal published in England and read in the colonies. Once a year, the Gentleman's Magazine published an anthology volume that contained the best articles, essays, and poetry selected from the previous 12 months' issues. And the motto of that annual collection was E Pluribus Unum. The magazine did not coin the phrase. It appears in sources dating back to the ancient Roman days. So in other words, they didn't trademark it. Congress did not like the original design that Franklin, Adams, and Jefferson submitted, but it did like the phrase e pluribus unum and later included it in the design adopted for the Great Seal of the United States. Since 1873, Congress has required that the motto e pluribus unum appear on every U.S. coin. So out of many, one. And it sure doesn't feel like that, but that is today's on this day in American history. Now, the next thing, obviously, I have, and I got to, boy, I keep messing this up. I keep screwing this up. I do this all the time. Anyway, here we go. We have questions for whiskey. All right, and tonight's question is going to be fairly quick because of the fact that it's just not very in depth. But I can tell you this much. This comes from the Outlaw Dogs, so this actually works perfectly, Outlaw Dogs, for your birthday. And she submitted a question. She basically says, whiskey, if another terror attack like 9/11 is committed in the next few years, will Americans unite under Biden or see that the open border was the problem? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't see anybody really uniting under Biden, to be completely honest. And the reason being is because of the fact that, if you look at his approval rating, it's in the toilet. It is probably one of the worst in modern history since we've been taking numbers on this. So I honestly don't see him doing it. Plus, he's been semantically destroying the military with all of his woke-focused mandates and everything else, between the mandate with the vaccine, between the, dealing with the CRT, teaching that. So I honestly don't see a lot of people like rallying around him. Unlike Bush, when 9/11 happened, a lot of people criticized Bush for the fact that he just sat still in the classroom in the elementary school while he was reading that book to the kids. And the purpose of that, of course, was to keep the kids from getting panicked, even though chaos was ensuing in New York City and along the East Coast. He decided to take the tact that I just want to, exude calm for the moment until I can actually extract myself from the situation, and then we get things going. I don't see Biden doing that, to be honest with you. I see Biden getting confused. I see Biden not understanding where he is going to go, what he has to do. He's going to be listening to all of his advisors, just like he's doing now. That's assuming that he isn't being run by them in the first place. So to be honest with you, I don't see anybody rallying around Biden. So if the Lord actually allows something like that to happen, I do not see the same type of response as to what we've seen with Bush in charge. I can also tell you that we would have a completely different response if it was Reagan or if it was even Trump. Now, I'm a big Reagan fan. I've not made any bones about it here on this program. I think Reagan was probably one of the great, if not the greatest, modern presidents in the American modern history. I can't really take him to places like George Washington or Abraham Lincoln because he never really hit that level of strife to be able to handle. But at the same time, though, he did have the Cold War. And so I am a big, a huge Reagan fan. And I honestly think Biden is like even worse than Carter, who Reagan took over with. So I really don't see him doing a whole heck of a lot. And I actually think that we're in the trouble that we are in now with China and Taiwan and even with Iran right now because of the fact that somehow Biden ended up in office. And so that's my answer to that question. Hopefully, Outlaw Dogs, that answered everything for you. I do appreciate the sending. If you are interested in sending me a question for whiskey, or you can even send like the background. This background is mine, or at least I stole it from somewhere. Anyway, this background is mine. But I have had submissions for backgrounds that I've rotated in and out. If you want to do any of those, if you want to send me a question for whiskey, or if you want to send me a pet of the week for Wednesday night, do so at fans, that's FANS, phonetically spelled Foxtrot Alpha November Sierra, at Whiskey Musings, all lowercase, all one word, .online. That's the special part. It's not .net, not .com, it's .online. And don't forget that I just opened up that P.O. box today. If you want to send me something snail mail, you can send it to Whiskey Musings, P.O. Box 1695, Stanwood, Washington, 98292. And thank you very much. I want to thank Jay. I see him over there. He's looking. Thanks, Jay, for coming on the program. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And maybe we can do it again sometime. We'll see you all on Wednesday for the next Whiskey Musings broadcast. Good night, everybody.